Hey everyone, I wanted to show you what to do when you have a tucked stitch. So I was working on a large panel and I ran into an issue with some static cling, and all of a sudden I ended up with some tucked stitches. This is what tucked stitches look like if you don't fix them. I didn't catch this while I was working on this piece, so I have some stitches that are twisted around and don't look exactly right. To fix this problem, you're going to need a loom hook and a crochet hook. So I've advanced the machine to the area where I see the problem, which is right here. So I'm looking at this row. This row looks clean. The issue begins over here. So I'm going to go one more. And once the pin where the problem stitch is pops up, I'm going to take my loom pick and I'm going to pull that stitch off the machine like this. And now I'm going to use the loom pick and pick my way all the way down to the problem area. So I'm going down. And this is where it starts getting weird looking. And the rest of those stitches are clean. So this was the last stitch that I want. I'm going to put my crochet hook under the loop right above the stitch. I'm going to do that. And we're going to have to do a little maneuvering. I need to get this first loop underneath. Then I'm going to put the new loop back on. I'm going to do this twice. And that creates the corrected stitch. Then I have to remove my crochet hook. So hold that stitch, make sure you don't lose it, and then put the next one on. And I'm going to flip it around. This corrects the problem. And you can see that now the stitches are starting to look correct. Next one, I'm just going to do it slowly so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're just going to keep going up the ladder so that everything is corrected. So it's like a two-step where we place the crochet hook on the loop above our loose stitch, place the crochet hook in, take this top stitch, pull it through, slide it up, that stitch over, and then pull it through. It sounds more complicated than it actually is. Once you get into the rhythm of doing this back and forth, it's actually really easy. And it's just a nice way to save your work without having to take the whole thing off the machine and start from scratch. It does get a little tight in that last stitch, but that's okay. And then that last one, we're just going to use my loom pick so I don't lose it. I'm just going to slip that onto the machine like that. And you can see that this side is corrected. And now I have another one right here that's a problem. So I'm going to advance the machine and then let this pin pick up. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to pull off this stitch. I'm going to pick these apart where the problem is right here. Okay, I'm going to go underneath the bar of the stitch above, put my crochet hook into that stitch, and now I'm going to work my way up and correct the problem. And sometimes I drop them by accident, but that's why I've got the loom pick. It's okay. Sometimes it's hard not to panic when that happens. I find, though, that if I panic and try to grab it with my fingers, I usually will lose the stitch. But if I just pause for a moment and grab the loom pick, I'm able to save it. Okay, and that's the last one. I'm going to put this on the loom pick and then put it back on the pin. Give it a little stretch, and you can see that now the problem has been fixed. And I just caught one that was right here as well. So when I come back the other way, I'm going to fix that one too. But this area right here is all better. So I'm moving the machine along, and I want to go to this pin right here. So I'm just gonna wait for it to pop up and just make sure that it's lined up. Here's the problem. I'm gonna remove this stitch, pick down to where the problem is. Right here, go under the first bar and then into the live stitch. And then we're gonna work our way back up. Okay, and you might have to straighten some of these stitches out, but you can see now that the problem has been fixed. So I've taken this off the machine and I want to show you how it looks now that it's been removed. So this was the area that I worked on. It was these 2 rows, and you can see that it came together really well. It fixed the problem, but I did overlook one. There's one right there that's a little twisted, but because it's just the one, I feel like it's not that noticeable. You can see it more on the wrong side. That is the tucked stitch right there. So I can deal with one. Sometimes what'll happen is you'll end up with a whole row of them, and that's just really unfortunate. I hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.